Growing up with my mom's side of the family, I always knew we had specific traditions set with them for daily routines and holidays. However, I never truly understood why we ate the things we did, specifically on holidays, why my brother and I got the gifts that we did from our grandma, or why we were specifically taught about Swedish mannerisms and traditions. That is, until I got older and learned more and more about my grandma's story migrating from Sweden to the United States of America in 1959. My grandma was born in 1941 in Stockholm, Sweden. Both her parents lived and worked there as well. It was in 1959, however, that this wonderful childhood of hers in Sweden had come to an end. When my grandma was 18 years old, her parents made the decision to move her and her 9 older sisters to the United States of America. My grandma's mother, also my great-grandma, had a sister who lived here in Colorado, which was a large reason for their migration. However, her dad's employment became a major motive for the cause of their movement as well. As a highly successful farmer, he needed a sustainable location to find even more success in his farming. Between these two factors, they chose the lovely Greeley, Colorado, to become their new home. This is where my grandma met her husband and my grandpa, Tommy, whom she was married to for 54 years until this April when he passed away. They owned a large farm together most of their life, which is where my mom was born and grew up as well. After learning about my grandma's migration story on a more personal level, I became more and more intrigued with the Swedish lifestyle and traditions that we practiced within the family. I am 25% Swedish, with my mom being 50% and my grandma 100%. Because of my grandma's strong Swedish background, we celebrate everything as if we were in Sweden, specifically Christmas. Christmas is the most important holiday of the year in Sweden, and my grandma has given us the same experience for our family here in Colorado. In Sweden, December 24th is the highlight of Christmas, and most people celebrate that night and simply do presents the day of Christmas. The COMN family does the exact same thing. We celebrate Christmas on the 24th with my mom's side of the family. And my grandma doesn't hold back when it comes to Swedish gifts, decorations, and food. My grandma doesn't leave one decoration in a box during this time of year, and almost every decoration represents the Swedish culture, such as the Dala-Klarlian horse, or Dala horse, which is a traditional carved, painted wooden horse which symbolizes Dalarna, a Swedish province. We also see lots of Swedish candles, signs in the Swedish language, and gavle goats, which are traditional Christmas displays of a Swedish Yule goat figure made of straw. Not only are these used for decoration all over the house during the Christmas season, but also these items were all gifts that my brother and I got every year when we were younger. Because of all these incredible traditions brought from Sweden to the USA by my grandma, our family has been able to experience a brand new culture without having to move anywhere to learn it. Although the Swedish decorations and gifts provided by my grandma are always great around Christmas time, nothing gets better than the Swedish food that she cooks for us year-round for any family gathering. This food includes homemade Swedish meatballs, cinnamon rolls, ostekaka, which is a Swedish cheesecake, Swedish rye bread, lace and spritz cookies, and Swedish pancakes. Not to mention, all these foods are created from scratch and with love by my grandma, which makes the food that much tastier. Swedish means so much more to me than just a culture. It represents my family and resembles who I am as a person today. It is because of my grandma's migration from Sweden to the United States that I am not only blessed with such a loving family, but I'm also familiar and engaged in a culture I would have never gotten to experience without her family's movement. Because of my knowledge of Sweden and my love for the country and the people there, I have a plan to visit with my mom and grandma this summer, which will be a whole new level of education on the culture that I've grown up practicing and representing proudly.